Adam, congrats on the contract and re-signing with the Mets. Now, after initially opting out, what did you learn about the direction of the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Stearns has made some good moves so far. We definitely added a lot of more pitching depth. There's been some reliever action even after I signed. So I think we head into camp with a pretty good squad. Expectations, obviously, not what they were last year, but I definitely like what we've done so far.
It was nice to see you get your flowers from the Mets here. Why was it important for you to stay in New York?
I mean, I love playing in New York. It's my favorite place to play. I think it's the best city in the world and has the best fans for sure. But for me, it really wasn't on my radar after I had opted out this year. I was willing to play anywhere. This just ended up being the best opportunity for me, and I'm definitely glad I'm back with the Mets.
Hey, Adam, congrats again on the deal. Glad to see you back. I'm curious, what were the conversations that you had, if any, with David Stearns and getting to know Carlos Mendoza? I know you were on the Yankees and were around him a little bit, but the bench coach to manager, totally different deal.
Yeah, I saw David at the BBWAA Awards last week and just chatted with him for a little bit. We didn't go too in depth, but obviously I've been watching the moves he's been making. As for Mendoza, yeah, we talked on the phone after my signing went official, and we just caught up a little bit, talked a little bit about the team. And, obviously I've been here the last 2 years and he hasn't. So he's trying to pick everybody's brain that he can as we get ready, to report here.
Hey, Adam, I know you're about to get ready for spring training. I was just wondering, at this point in your career, how do you adapt your routine in terms of all the changes your body goes through as a pitcher, and even how much the league has changed so much in general over the past couple of years?
At the end of every season, you always have to assess what just took place and what you think, the areas that you want to target, during the offseason to really, improve upon are. So I do that every year. This year was not really any different, but I will say as you get older, the checklist gets a little longer. Your preparation every day to get ready to actually work out or actually go throw and try to make real changes. It's more time consuming. But that's the part of it that you got to love. And, I really do enjoy it, no matter how tedious it is.
Adam, you are well known as a tinkerer, somebody who works on pitches. Is there a particular pitch this spring that you're going to look to do something different when you're on the mound?
Yeah, I've been working on my pitches in a number of ways. I do think if I can get a little bit of my velocity back, I do think that will make the rest of my arsenal really play up the way I want it to. So that's kind of the main indicator. I'm just looking to trend in a little better direction velocity-wise when I get there. But I have been altering a little bit with my cutter slider pitch, looking to make it more of a chase pitch, something that can get swing and miss below the zone. And I'm looking to get down to Florida and kind of see the trial and error process with actual hitters.
This bullpen's a little bit different. There's a lot of different names, actually. They all do some different things. I'm curious what you make of the entire group, and if there's anybody that, that you're high on personally that maybe we're sleeping on, that we don't really know too much about.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good group. It's pretty deep now, especially with the moves that aren't official yet, but we know we're coming. There's going to be a lot of good pitchers out there, a lot of good arms. I think they're going to be able to mix and match in a lot of different matchups. I think for me, I mean, I know that he's been around for the last couple of years, but I do feel like Drew Smith might be the guy to take the big step forward this year. Last year was the first year he figured out how to stay out there the whole season. Now he's kind of trying to combine that durability with the performance piece. I know he's been working really hard this offseason. He's the type of guy who has huge upside, and I'm definitely rooting for him to, be the guy that kind of pops this year.
I mean, everyone knows that Edwin Diaz is a game changer, but how does that personally change the way that you pitch and how you approach batters when you're pitching in front of him?
Well, I would say majority of the time it doesn't really affect me. I mean, I have to pitch my game and just try to get the outs in front of him. But there are a couple situations where if I know he's available for, 4 outs or 5 outs and I'm in a jam out there, I don't necessarily have to give in to the guys that I'm facing because I know that I have a strikeout machine coming in behind me. So don't do anything to kind of ruin the game and make sure he gets in there with a chance to save the day if need be.
Adam, obviously you made a bunch of appearances with us here on BNNY. How did your time in the media impact your off-season decision-making?
I mean, to be honest, it really didn't. I try to keep them separate. baseball is baseball for me. And, you know, the TV stuff is really fun and something that, you know, I enjoy doing. But, you know, just totally separate for me. It's fun to be able to comment on other things and, you know, around the game. But when it comes to my own personal baseball career, you know, that's just something of itself. I just try to train as hard as I can, get a little better every day, and kind of keep my head where it needs to be.
You know, Adam, you've been on this team now. This will be, what, your third year with the Mets here. You obviously played in New York before. But specifically with the Mets, different expectations your first year, even last year, than this year. Are you embracing the lowered expectations and maybe proving fans or doubters out there wrong that maybe this team can be a playoff team?
Yeah, I mean, as one of the leaders of this team, I think my message is going to be more along the lines of, you know, kind of collectively, we need to have our heads in the right place within the clubhouse. Obviously, you know, fans are there to support us and they're going to have their desires, and that's awesome. But, you know, within the clubhouse, we need to kind of leave last year behind us and even leave 2 years ago behind us and just focus on what we can do this year, put our best foot forward from day one, play really good baseball, clean baseball, and give ourselves a chance to, you know, add at the deadline and see what happens.